All right, guys, we're here at the Point Loma campus to get a workout in today. And what I want to start doing on this channel actually is showing you a little bit more behind the scenes of how I train. A lot of my training is actually like a self-experimentation process. I am consistent with programs, but I do like to inject a little bit of novelty here and there as I'm trying out new things or actually researching different styles of training or programming things into the app. And I'm training today with Blevins.
Right now, I'm pilot testing one of our newest training protocols. It's going to be a DUP style where there's going to be more variety in the rep ranges day to day. This is to avoid the repeated bout effect, which just basically means the more you do something, the less effective it is at making you better at it. You have those diminishing returns. So I'm going to be doing some upper body work primarily today. I'm going to be focusing on 5s and 4s for my main work, but then also some a little bit higher rep work for the accessory work I'm doing.
All right, guys, if you couldn't tell, this gym is set up more for like tactical or team sport training, not really for super duper strong powerlifters like this guy over here. So one of the things that will be coming soon are powerlifting style plates and bars in here so that very strong humans can come and train.
Yeah, what are you starting with today?
We've got bench first, squats to follow. So just 5s on bench. So I think I might have a top set. I gotta check the program, and then like a 5x5 after that. Technique work on squats. I did my heavy squat workout on Monday. Nice. Oh.
All right, well, that was my top set, 365 for 5. Was targeting an RP8. I think I can grind out benches pretty good. And so maybe a 7, but I'll put it in as an 8. I'm coming off of a little bit of a layoff from working out, so happy with that.
I'm actually just putting in my readiness score into the app right now. This is something I skip sometimes, to be honest with you, if I'm just rushing into my workout. But today I've got time, so it looks like after entering my readiness score, I've got a top set on bench, which for me is going to be around 90 kilos, and then a 5x5 back off. After that, I got my squats and other accessories.
All right, here we go. Awesome. Good set.
Felt like 8.5, maybe 8.
Maybe, yeah. I was gonna say 8.5 or 8. It was like the third rep looked the shakiest. Yeah. You got a little out of the groove, but then you tightened up on 4 and 5, and you just like pounded right through. So, yeah, really solid set.
Cool.
That was great. How'd that feel?
Felt all right. When I'm benching, I always feel like my torso is slightly twisted. My right shoulder tends to be more kind of anteriorly rotated and internally rotated. So when I press, I feel like that side leads to the bar, and I try to compensate by pulling my left side down, but then that gets me out of the groove. So, you know, I struggle between whether just kind of going with my body's natural asymmetries versus trying to correct them. And I think there's probably a middle ground somewhere.
Sure. Yeah, there's always something to work on, right?
Yeah, that's what's so fun about lifting. All right, so on my back off work for bench press, I've been undershooting the prescribed load a little bit, kind of working up to it. So each time I've added about 5 or 10 pounds to the load, and then I'm just tracking the RPEs with that in the app. And what it's doing is, you know, based on that top set, is calculating what my drop-offs or my back offsets should be. And then I kind of go based on feel. So I was feeling a little bit fatigued on that first one, but I'm actually feeling better and better as the lift is going. So adding just a bit more load to it. So one of the major challenges of hybrid training cardio and with weights at the same time, with goals of increasing both endurance and strength, is really just sequencing your workouts and your lifts different cardio modalities versus what you're actually doing in the weight room. So what I try to do is if I have a upper body dominant day like today, where it's mostly heavier on the pushes and the pulls for the upper body and lighter on squats, is I take that day and make sure that either the day before or that day, I actually have a taxing lower body endurance session. So yesterday I went on a run and a walk, just got a long time on my feet, a lot of eccentric damage that I accumulated, but not really a big deal because today I just have lighter technique work on the squats. And really that's gonna actually help me recover for my heavy day, which is coming tomorrow, which is Friday. Time for some squats. I think this will be what I go to. It's just technique day on squats. So keeping it light, keeping it snappy, a little bit challenging, but really just challenging enough so that I'm working at the same skill that would actually apply to squatting heavier loads. If you do skill work with the bar, yes, there's some carryover, but less transfer of that skill to when the load is actually heavy. Strength and skill are intertwined in powerlifting. Really, powerlifting, lifting weights, it's a low skill sport, right? And some of you might be triggered when I say that, but when you compare it to field sports where you're reacting to multiple stimuli with unanticipated movement patterns and other opponents actually trying to hinder you, you don't have any of that in lifting weights, powerlifting, weightlifting, etc. And so, yes, there's skill work involved, but we can really get that skill to be very refined and very close to what you're gonna experience on competition day. So when you're doing skill work, you don't want it to be fatiguing, but you do want it to be close enough, challenging enough to actually heavy weights so that you're practicing the same skill. The weight slowed down a little bit on second and third reps. Part of that is I usually squat with a belt. I try to squat without a belt on technique days, although again, there's a trade-off. If you squat with your heavy loads with a belt and you're not wearing a belt on technique work, well, it becomes a little bit less specific, but try to take a little break and work on my bracing through the midsection. But I think I'll stick at that weight.
All right. Go, stay tight, push, push, push. Excellent, great speed.
Caved a little bit on that third rep, but
Yep.
speed was good. Trade-offs.
And that's a wrap. Garrett and I finished up our workout. Here are just a few shots of my accessory lifts that I did after the main strength work. Now, if you want more content like this, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell to receive all notifications, because my goal is to increase the frequency with which I'm posting content here. Strength and sports science type content, educational content, lifting videos, behind the scenes of the EvolveAI strength app that we are developing and continue to refine. It's all going to be posted here. And if you want to see more details from Garrett's lift today, go ahead and check out his channel, Garrett Blessings, on YouTube. I'll drop a link down in the description. Hey, you guys, this was fun, and we will have another one next week, so stay tuned.